What is up, everybody? I'm Chris Ruden, your host of the Chronically Motivated Project. And today, for Monday's motto, we're talking about motivation and why it isn't enough. Motivation is never enough. It's funny because this podcast, is called Chronically Motivated. But motivation, honestly, is bullshit. Motivation means nothing. It's so temporary. Think about it. You watch an awesome, inspiring Facebook or YouTube video that has some deep voice talking about, like a Morgan Freeman voice talking about, go forward, be a beast, be a sheep. Not a sheep. Be a lion, be a bear, be a wolf. I don't know why you always have to be some fierce beast or something. It just seems cool. I don't know if that's really motivating. It just seems kind of dumb to me. But off topic already. Motivation isn't enough. It's fleeting. It's temporary. It only occurs in little bouts in short time. And whether you watch a really cool video on YouTube or Facebook, or you hear an inspiring speaker, or you read one of my posts on Instagram, you're like, I'm so motivated. Oh my God, I can take on the world. I'm so ready. I'm going to go get 6-pack abs. I'm going to be a millionaire. Oh my God. And then life punches you in the dick. Just square in the genitals, right in the giblets, uppercuts you right in the nether regions. And then you realize that motivation is gone. Well, I was motivated earlier, but now, I have to take my daughter to the park, and I have to drop her off, and then I have to make food, and I'm so tired, and maybe I'll do it later. All these excuses start rushing in because life is hard, and motivation isn't enough. So what do you need? What is it that you need to get stuff done? That's called willingness. No amount of motivation will ever compare to being willing to do something. Willingness, let's break that down. The base word of willingness is will. Willpower, meaning a choice, the power of choice. You have to be willing, you have to have the willpower to make the choices, to do the things you need to do to get stuff done. It's your willpower. That is your choice to do work. Willingness. Motivation is based off a feeling. It's temporary. It's fleeting. It's not always there, and it's not always enough to make you do something. People are waiting for the motivation to come, or can't do things because they're not motivated enough. But it's not about being motivated. It's not a specific level of motivation, like you have this motivation gauge that measures how much motivation you need to do. No, it's willingness. Motivation doesn't compare to willingness. Take a person who is 100% motivated but not willing, and put them against someone who's 100% willing but not motivated. I don't give a fuck how motivated you are, how many videos you watched of Tony Robbins walking on fire, or Ty Lopez talking about his grandma earning $6 million every week. No amount of motivation compares to willingness to do things and get them done. None. Because that 100% motivated person who's not willing is just motivated. He's still dormant. He's doing nothing. He's just sitting in his mom's basement feeling motivated, waiting for the loading screen of some dumb chick Netflix series that he's secretly watching without telling his friends because he's motivated. No amount of motivation compares to work, to action. How can you be willing but not motivated? I'll tell you right away, and you probably are this right now if you're driving to work or going to work or getting ready for work. You go to work. You're not always motivated and excited and super pumped to go to work, but you're willing. You tell yourself you're not, like, I'm going to quit this day. Fuck this job. Fucking boss. I hate this. No matter how much bitching you do, you're still willing to go. Your willingness to go to work is unfleeting because you know you have to. Well, you don't have to, but you convince yourself that you have to. We'll touch on that later. Willingness is a choice. You have to be willing to do the things you need to do, and it is your choice. You choose to do things. So for those people who are just waiting to get shit done, they're wasting time and they're bullshitting themselves, because it's not about waiting. You're waiting to get stuff done based on your decision to not do anything, based on your ability to do something, and you choose not to. So it's all on you. It's your fucking fault because you're not willing to do the work that you say you want. You have all these desires, but no willingness to get them done. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to act according to what you say you want if you want to get stuff done. That's just how things work. At a deeper level, you have to be willing to wrestle your inner demons. You have to be willing to deal with those dark parts of you that are stopping you from growing. You can't keep lying to yourself and saying that you're just not motivated right now, or put it off, or whatever other excuse you keep lying to yourself. Like, you've had the ability to do what you need to do this entire time. But that's where ability and desire kind of part ways. All the things you need to do, you're willing to do. Even if you're not willing to do them, you have the ability to change your willpower. You have the ability to decide. You have the power of choice. That's your ability in your life to control your life. Like, newsflash, your life is your responsibility. It just is. And if you're willing, it makes it go a lot fucking better. Willingness means to do something without reluctance, to do something without a grudge, because you know you need to do it. But there's so many people out here who are updating people who don't, frankly, they just don't give a shit. They're updating all this shit on Facebook saying, I can't do this because of this. My life is so hard. Poor me, poor me. Hey, go fund me because I'm not willing to do shit. Like, no, I'm not going to go fund you. No. Nicholas Machiavelli had an awesome quote. He said, where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. That's simply because when you're willing to act, you are equally willing to fail. When you're willing to act, you're equally willing to be vulnerable. You're willing to take a loss because you know that's a possibility. When you go in the gym for the first time, you're willing to really fail. You're willing to embarrass yourself. You're willing to do all these scary things. You know, you could get hurt. A lot of things could happen, but you're willing to put yourself in that vulnerable position because you know it will pay off if you stick it out. You'll learn more. You'll get better. You'll get more fit. Things will change for the better. That's awesome. You know, that could be even motivating, but guess what? When it gets shitty, even though you told yourself it could happen, it sucks. Anyone can be motivated when things are great. But for those who are willing, that's unwavering. In the good, in the bad, when you're willing to get stuff done, when you have chosen to get stuff done, regardless of circumstance, you'll succeed, no matter what. You have to be willing to let go of that stuff that holds you back. After all this stuff is about your choice. Everyone looks for that external motivation. They're searching it on Google or YouTube. They're always looking for that one thing that could make them act, that one thing that could inspire them to do it. They're looking externally for an internal thing. It's as simple as a choice. That's all it is. It's a choice. Willingness is everything. We're going to go a little deeper on the willingness. And some of you may know or may not know that I struggled with addiction in the past and in a former life of mine. But I take this quote from Alcoholics Anonymous, their big book. It might also be cited in their 12 Steps and 12 Traditions book, but they say willingness is key. you have to be willing to repair what you can and let go of what you can't. What that means in the broad spectrum of things is you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to let go of the stuff you can't control. Shit is gonna happen. It's always gonna happen. Like, things are always gonna go good at times and things are always gonna go bad at times. You have to be willing to screw up. And you have to be willing to be okay with that when it happens. Or else you're just gonna stop when things get hard. People who only act on motivation only act when it's convenient. No amount of success happened at convenience or at comfort or at just pleasure alone. That's not how it works. Willingness is the thing that drives people to success. It's not always a smooth ride. It gets really fucking bumpy at times. That's just how things work. But willingness is that one factor that keeps you going forward, while motivation is what people often wait for. It's a feeling. They're looking for this feeling that doesn't happen, but willingness is an action. It's a state of readiness without reluctance to do the things you need to do. I don't understand. Like, with the gym, no amount of check-ins at the gym will make you a lion or a beast or ripped or fit. Just like standing in a bank doesn't make you rich, standing in a gym doesn't make you fit. If you just go to the gym when you're motivated, like one day a week or one day every other week, you're not going to get fit. You got to be willing to put your head down, put the fucking work in, and do it. You have to be willing to do it. It's a choice. You can't hire me to make you willing. Lead a horse to water, we can't make a drink, whatever the dumb quote you want to use. It's relatively true. If you're not willing to do the work, you can't hire anyone, you can't pay anyone, you can't buy anything. Nothing is going to help you, because at the end of the day, it's you. It's just you. Your willingness is determined by your choice. Maybe you need a good goal. Maybe you need a reason to do what you need to do. You might already have it. But all these people are so lazy. They're so damn lazy. And they're looking for pity. They're looking for someone to sympathize with them. You know, I can't do this because of this. I can't do this because I'm really busy. Like, no, I know people 10 times busier than you doing 10 times the stuff that you say you wish you could do, and they're doing it. Well, they're not me. No, they're not. But they are willing. They are willing. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not always motivated. I have a podcast about motivation, chronic motivation, and I am not always motivated. That's life. Sometimes my motivation to go to the gym or do the stuff I need to do with my business is lower than a midget doing limbo. Sometimes that's just life, you know? But I'm willing to do what I need to do to get to where I want to be. It's a choice. It's my choice. It's no one else's choice. Just as your life is your responsibility. Your life is your choice. And the things you want out of it can all happen given that you are willing to put in the work. Motivation isn't enough. You need to be willing. And that's your choice. That wraps up today's podcast on Monday's motto. This is the Chronically Motivated Project. Make sure you check out tomorrow's Trash Talk Tuesday. It'll be a good one. And also follow me on Instagram at Chris Ruden if you already don't. Or you can check out my website, www.chrisruden.com. Thank you again, and I will